First is Tesla. Now, actually, someone on the show last night had a Tesla short on this. I mean, people love to be short Tesla for the last few weeks. I have a different opinion over here. For the first time, I'm actually interested in watching Tesla and may want to take a trade on it at some point. The risk rewards to me is starting to get good. And I'm looking at this from a sentiment and technical point of view. So 2 of the 4 pillars. I understand the fundamentals are expensive, but the 200-week moving average is very, very meaningful on all charts, whether it's the indices or whether it's an individual stock. So the 200-week moving average is here at $160. Now, you want to wait till it touches it. Okay, yeah, maybe, but maybe it doesn't get there, right? The risk reward gets better as you get closer to 160. I also like the RSI in the weekly chart is 33, pretty oversold. And I'm combining that with the sentiment of everyone knows the sentiment of Elon Musk and this guy's eventually going to succeed and Tesla's going to be huge. And everyone knows that sentiment. So despite the fact that it's fundamentally overvalued, I think those 2 pillars, sentiment and technicals here at the 200-week moving average is something to look into. Now, 160. Now, if you go back and look, there's some additional strong support at about 155 right here before it took off here in 2020, September, third quarter of 2020. It bumped up against about 150, 155 for quite a while before it took off. So that's your other support levels. I think we're nearing support levels on Tesla. I just wanted to put that out there because, I don't talk about Tesla. I always thought Tesla's so overvalued. It's not my kind of thing. So I think it's a little bit newsworthy that I'm interested in at least starting to look at Tesla right now is something I think a little meaningful. Now, yesterday morning, I talked about Tesla like for the first time in forever. At least talked about it in a bullish way, in a good way for the first time in forever. We talked about this 200-week moving average getting close, RSI low. Now, I don't know if I said it yesterday, but I should have said it that, as you approach these support lines, it's a risk reward thing, right? So not necessarily do you want to wait till it touches it. Each one of you will come up with a different strategy, right? I was waiting, right? What I often do is like I'll wait for another pillar to hit, like a catalyst, news event or something, and I might miss that exact bottom. So that's what I did. It was nearing the 200-week moving average. Yeah, you could have said, let me get some because it's approaching that better risk reward. But anyway, it was at the top of my list. And then this morning, news came out from Citi analyst who was had a sell rating, raised from sell to neutral with a price target, raised the price target from like the 130s to 176 by Citigroup. And then there was an article I shared with you from Barron's that also had an analyst, I believe, was it Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan? I forget which one. It was from one of them. I'm not even sure if I can find it in this feed, with really good commentary from another analyst. Between the 2 analysts, I mean, they were basically saying this could be a value play at these levels. And one of the analysts, I think from Citi, said actually a deep recession would be great for Tesla because all the competition would die and Tesla would emerge even stronger. So, basically saying 150 is like the worst case bear scenario, and we're almost there. So changing our rating. So I jumped in this morning because I was already interested at near these levels. I jumped in this morning. I don't know what my average is. Maybe around here, right? Because I was averaging up during this little initial spike. I got in right at 7 a.m. and I kept on adding. It was rising. So maybe my averages are 173.50 right now. I think there's a potential. You'd have strong resistance, pre-market resistance at 175. I think there is a potential for this to squeeze to this gap fill area with the first target here where it gapped open at about 176. But really, I'm kind of looking at 180, the close of prior day. That's where I'm hoping for. Like if we reach there, I'm going to be completely out. But definitely got to get past this tricky 175 area first. And I'll admit it's on a tricky, scary day, with FOMC and right before the holidays. But when did he ever hear 2 Wall Street analysts together coming in and saying all these really great positive things? Value play. Who would have you heard? When would you have heard Wall Street analysts saying Tesla is a value play? So but this is incredible.
We did it again, guys. This is crazy. This is insane. Oh my gosh. We just killed it this morning. I mean, what else is there to say? Tesla this morning, the story. You can check out if you missed the pre-market prep. Go look at this morning's pre-market prep. You can see how we called this. Got in pre-market. I was buying in the opening minutes. looking for a 180 target. Got it. Should have done call options. I don't know. I'm thinking of starting to do some call options. And now I think Tesla could swing to about this 20 DMA. It's declining, so maybe low 190s, 190, 192. Not going to rehash the story, but that was great.
Tesla, we're seeing a little bit of follow through. Man, did we ever nail that? Here's that 185 that we talked about, which was the next target. Now, there's some people excited about this full driving release, full driving suite, the software, the automated driving is released. Now, this wasn't completely like a surprise. I'm a little bit surprised at how excited people are about this. In fact, Elon Musk said 6 days ago, that they're rolling it out, doing the full rollout. But I guess now it's official that it has been rolled out. I think this is really just a matter of sentiment being positive now because of what happened, because of what we covered on Wednesday morning with Citigroup and the other analysts upgrading. So when you get that positive sentiment, everything all of a sudden is seen in a positive light. We talked about that psychological dynamic. In fact, we predicted that dynamic would happen as a result of hitting that 200-week moving average, which is also a reflection of fundamentals, right? When you find support at technical levels, that's supposed to be also, because markets are efficient, it's supposed to be a reflection of a fundamental reality. So anyway, this 200-week moving average turning out to be a great spot.
And Tesla recently, I can't believe I'm into Tesla now. Wow. I don't own it today, but man, I'm actually interested in paying attention and buying the supports. It's starting to get into a value range for me. And you see the 200-day moving average here at 163. That was the reason we combined that with that catalyst, and we said, boom, and the sentiment change more than anything with that bearish analyst from Citigroup going bullish. That was huge. I think that might be enough to put a floor in the stock. I really do. We're at 179 here. So I think Tesla, you might be able to buy pullbacks on this stock, even though it's fundamentally overvalued, right? Again, Tesla, this is probably going to be on my list from now on. I think this is kind of in a value stock range at this point, given their growth prospects. And you see that 200 DMA support. We really called this last week. So this is something I'm just going to be monitoring, and maybe on down days, looking at selling puts on this. Maybe I'll establish a little bit of my long-term IRA. We'll have to see. So Tesla on top of our watch list. Keeping an eye on Tesla at the top of our list. This is something I'm interested in from now on. At these levels, close to the 200-day moving average, 200-week moving average, I'm sorry. The PE, the trailing PE is only 56 for a growth company like this with a sentiment premium. That's not too expensive. This is starting to look interesting to me. So definitely something that is worth looking into, selling puts, going long at support levels. So that's always on top of my list now here every day.